Imagine getting paid just for sharing your thoughts on products and services you use every day. With Survey Junkie, it's that simple. Click on the link in the video description to discover how you can start earning today by taking surveys.
Good morning. Hunter Biden was found guilty Tuesday on 3 felony counts relating to buying a handgun while being a user of crack cocaine. He now faces up to 25 years in prison, though such a sentence would be highly unusual given that he is a first-time offender. As the only surviving son of the president, Joe Biden, Hunter has long been a target of far-right Republicans seeking to use his woes and business dealings as a political weapon against the president. After the verdict, they continued to push unfounded conspiracy theories that the trial was a distraction from the real crimes of the Biden crime family. How has Joe Biden responded? The president has previously said he would not pardon his son if he was convicted. On Tuesday, he said, "I will accept the outcome of this case and will continue to respect the judicial process as Hunter considers an appeal." He went on to deliver a gun safety speech just hours after the verdict. Did Hunter Biden have his family's support during the trial? Even as Joe Biden's presidential campaign and the White House attempted to distance themselves from the case, Hunter's family and close friends attended the trial en masse to show their support. The First Lady, Jill Biden, was seated in the Delaware courtroom behind her stepson for the first 3 days of the trial until leaving to attend a D-Day commemoration ceremony in France. Late on Tuesday, a Hamas official said the group had submitted to Egyptian and Qatari mediators a response to the 3-stage UN Security Council ceasefire resolution outlined by Joe Biden that centers on the return of the hostages taken in the October 7 attack. A Hamas spokesperson, Jihad Taha, said the response included amendments that confirm the ceasefire, withdrawal, reconstruction, and prisoner exchange. Washington has received the reply and was evaluating it, the National Security Council spokesperson, John Kirby, said. This comes after a UN report found that Israel and Hamas had committed war crimes on and after October 7. The European Union is expected to impose tariffs of up to 25% on imports of Chinese electric vehicles, a decision likely to prompt a trade war with China. Azerbaijan's government has been accused of cracking down on media and civil society activism before it hosts UN climate talks at COP29 later this year. The U.S. House Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez said the Supreme Court had been captured and corrupted by money and extremism, provoking a crisis of legitimacy that threatened the stability of American democracy. Russia's economy is showing surprising resilience despite the thousands of sanctions imposed by the West after Vladimir Putin's invasion of Ukraine. Observers are warning of sanction holes, secretive routes supplying Russia with Western tech and goods. Groups have sprung up around the world to address Wikipedia's gender balance. Women account for less than 15% of the site's volunteer editors, and just under a fifth of Wikipedia's content is focused on women. Groups such as Wikisfera in Spain are hosting gatherings for volunteer editors to add entries on women and edit texts that downplay women's achievements by focusing on their appearance or their links to prominent men. For the first time, civil society has the power to make women visible, said Patricia Harillo, who launched Wikisfera a decade ago. History has always been told by those in power, now we have that power. A new form of toxic masculinity has taken over social media, Sigma masculinity. The Sigma male is characterized as a lone wolf, a confident and competent independent thinker who makes his own rules. It's helped define what could be a masculine archetype for our times, supposedly exemplified by characters played by the likes of Keanu Reeves, Cillian Murphy, Bryan Cranston, and Christian Bale, plus the manosphere influencer Andrew Tate as well as actual, real-life wolves, writes Steve Rose. Now for the flip side of toxic masculinity, Asian women, in particular Asian women in relationships with white men, have always faced harassment on social media. Asian men blame them for what they see as the degradation of their own dating pool, casting the women as both victims of white supremacy and villains for upholding it. Over the past year, these trolls have begun invoking a peculiar phrase in their harassment of Asian women, Oxford study. This refers to an academic study from the University